Is there any doubt in your mind that Russia was behind the attack on the U.S. election?
First of all, Russia, as a state, has never interfered with the internal affairs of the United States.
The fact is Russia was behind it. The fact is President Putin directed it.
Dan Coates came to me and some others. They said they think it's Russia.
In regards to Russian involvement in the midterm elections, we continue to see a pervasive messaging campaign.
Dana's been very excited about this right from the beginning, so I appreciate that.
We're not talking about what the Trump campaign or the president did or did not do with the Russians.
In my words, Russian involvement in
We're really talking about what was Russia and its proxies trying to do in the United States, and how were they trying to do it. So if you want to give a summary to someone that you want to talk about the Russians in Maryland, how can we summarize our findings?
The Brennan Center recently did a study of online electioneering or election ads, and they found that it was about 260 election ads from Russia targeting Maryland, specifically to make sure that there's confusion here and to pit Democrats versus Republicans and one candidate over the other.
I decided that we should look at Maryland and just use that as a way to narrow the focus. We have some really enterprising students there, including one who's from Estonia, which is a place where the Russians have been doing this for quite a while. So she actually is really good at looking at Twitter.
Because at first they were like, yeah, we've done all the reporting. I'm the last generation that was born actually in Soviet Union, but I don't remember that time because I was 2 when it collapsed. But when it comes to Russian disinformation and Russian attacks, Estonia has been affected a lot because the very first cyber attack from another government in the world was against Estonia.
So disinformation is purposely misleading people with information that appears to be real. It's not the conspiratorial type things. It's something that could be real. You know, most of the report is real, but then they tack on something that is not. Or if it is a lie, it's so well done that you won't be able to tell that for a while. That's really disinformation. It's manipulating you in a way that you don't know that you're manipulated. And social media is great for that because people can hide behind any name. They can use American content to deform a message and target certain individuals or target certain communities, that sort of thing.
So I tried to take out tweets which involved either the words Maryland, Baltimore, or those hashtags, or everything which was related to Freddie Gray. And then I came across this one account that tweeted about Baltimore the most. The account is called Baltimore Online, and it was an account that tried to act like a local account, and they were retweeting all existing news already. The most used word after Baltimore and Maryland, which are location-based words, are police, politics breaking, city, health, shot, shooting, country, Trump, killed, fire, officer. So the theme really comes out, and it's also seen in the different word clouds I made. Those are all the words, and the bigger the word, the more it was found in the data. And again, here you can see that most of the words that are bigger are negative. We have in the tweet an emotional score, and then it sums it all up. And if the whole tweet content would be neutral, it would be an actual news source, the score would be probably somewhere close to 0. It would be a little negative because negative news sell, but it would be still quite close to 0. But the sum score for Baltimore Online was minus 1,250. The reason why Russians were using black communities was that they wanted for them to stay at home during election, and they were trying to find places where there are so many tensions already. People don't have jobs, not only don't they trust the local government, they really don't trust the police.
in 2017, during that session, I introduced a bill, first of its kind in the country, to hold online platforms accountable for political ads in the state of Maryland. What this bill does is make sure that we know who the person is, we have their contact information, we know how much they paid for it, we know who they outreach to, and we make sure we have all the information, and the online platforms must hold that information so that the state can later go back if they found that there's any discrepancies in that data or in the information, we'll be able to know who we are holding accountable. We are being sued by the Washington Post and Baltimore Sun and many of these other media outlets online. They feel like it's disenfranchising or it's hurting their their First Amendment rights because we require them to hold information on online platforms.
All the newspapers in Maryland came together to shoot this down because it would have required them to disclose who is funding political ads.
Hundreds of millions of Twitter and Instagram users were reached, and thousands of fake accounts were used to manipulate black voters and dissuade them from voting. Vote from home is just one example.
If one person gets influenced or misinformed, then that hurts our democracy, period. So no matter what, are they going to ask, has it had any impacts on our outcome? Yes, because people are still being influenced negatively or positively, or whichever way you sway on the political spectrum. So I think it has had an impact on us, and we can see that because of the work that we're doing so quickly here in the state of Maryland to make sure that we are protecting our elections, so that voters feel confident when they go to the ballot box that their vote counts, and that's what matters.
But people should be more aware of what's behind the cyber curtain so they can figure out how they're being manipulated.
Even if we can't say whether it had an impact or not, I think the story is still worth, because there's so much talk about the word misinformation and Russian misinformation, but there hasn't been a lot of talk, like when we say misinformation, what is it? Like, you think of memes, you think of like fake news, but still they're used. It's like, in a way, they were using Baltimore against Baltimore.
You smile, let me finish. They say that these units were specifically involved in hacking into Democratic Party computers,